Welcome to a new video. Here are the 10 incredible places that science still cannot explain. Number 1. Stunning hidden Nanmatal glacier. These fascinating images seem to come from another world. With a serene glow shining from below, however, they are very earthy and were taken in the shadow of K2, the world's second highest mountain, during a dangerous 3-week trek in the Himalayas. Filmmaker David Klikowski explored a remote ice field with a drone. The stunning images capture the changing Concordia, where the Baltoro and Godwin Austen glaciers meet in Pakistan's Karakoram range. According to the filmmaker, the place was unique, disappearing, melting and changing shape daily. No one would photograph him this way again. Number 2. Magician, an immersive mystery. The Magician Grottoes are a collection of 194 caves carved into the side of Magician Hill in China. In this example of rock architecture you can find more than 7,200 Buddhist sculptures and 1,000 square meters of murals. They were first thoroughly explored in 1952 by a team of Chinese archaeologists from Beijing, who devised the numbering system still used today. They are just one of many Buddhist grottos in this area of northwestern China, close to the main routes connecting China and Central Asia. It is likely that the grotto shrines in China served two functions before the arrival of Buddhism. They could have been used as local shrines to worship ancestors or various nature deities. These sites, along with others along the Eastern Silk Road, were inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List as part of the Silk Roads in 2014. Number 3. The Stairs of Death. The Huayna Picchu hike in Peru can be difficult and terrifying at times, but it is undoubtedly one of the best things to do in Machu Picchu, the legendary lost city of the Incas. Don't be alarmed by the name. Despite being called the Death Stairs of Machu Picchu due to its steepness and narrowness, there have been very few accidents and deaths here over the years, and it is quite safe as long as you don't get careless. Huayna Picchu has a height of 2,693 meters, and only narrow stairs lead to the top. The impressive view from the top is the main reason why people climb Huayna Picchu. There is no better place to see the Inca ruins of Machu Picchu than from this point of view. Climbing Huayna Picchu takes around 2 hours. Number 4. The mysterious churches of Lalibela, Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, there is a city called Lalibela, which at first glance might not seem very interesting, except for its churches. However, these churches are not only interesting, they baffle even modern scientists. The reason? They were carved from stone and volcanic rock, and each of the 3 churches is unique and inimitable, distinguished by its style. Some of these structures are situated in pits and surrounded by rocks, while others are carved directly into the cliffs. According to scientists' calculations, they were rebuilt in the 12th and 13th centuries AD, and it only took 25 years to build them from scratch. This begs the question, how were the ancient inhabitants of Ethiopia, who were not known for their advanced knowledge and skills, able to create such skillful and incredible churches with primitive tools in such a short time? Researchers still do not fully understand this riddle, but locals have their own answer: the help of divine forces. According to local legend, both ordinary workers and angels descended to earth to participate in the creation of these churches. The collaboration between humans and celestial beings gave rise to architectural monuments that remain a mystery today. In Africa, there are more mysterious buildings than most people know about, and the churches of Lalibela are a unique architectural treasure on the continent. Number 5. The stone forest of Madagascar is a wonder of nature. Madagascar, an island home to exotic animals such as lemurs and chameleons, also features impressive geological formations that defy the imagination. In the dry southwestern region, you can find a majestic stone forest where imposing rock pinnacles, similar to gigantic needles, rise from the ground. This unique and surreal landscape will leave you breathless. The limestone pinnacles in the stone forest emerged over millions of years, sculpted by persistent water erosion in a semi-arid climate. Dissolved limestone has shaped rock blades and complex structures extending up to 70 meters high. Although from afar it looks like a forest of petrified trees, up close it reveals its rocky and dangerous nature, with canyons and sharp rocks. This stone forest serves as a refuge for rare animals, although some species, such as large birds and lemurs, are no longer present. There is a belief that it could hold hidden treasures, but walking in this forest is risky due to its confusing and rocky terrain. Despite the dangers, the lack of access has helped protect wildlife. However, human expansion and nearby mining pose threats to the existence of the stone forest and Madagascar's biodiversity in general. Number 6. Medieval dolphin tomb. Archaeologists were finishing an excavation at Chapel d'Amhou in the English Channel when they made an unexpected and puzzling discovery. Archaeologists reasonably assumed that a carefully cut grave plot would contain the remains of a deceased human being. Instead, they discovered the bones of a dolphin in the grave. The discovery was made at the site of a medieval religious retreat that was once inhabited by monks seeking solitude. Experts believe the bones date back to the 14th century and the remains appear to have been intentionally buried rather than simply buried underground. Experts aren't sure how to interpret this strange discovery. People ate dolphins during the medieval period, but it seems unlikely that the animal would have received such a thorough burial if it had only served as food. The body may have been buried in a hole and covered with salt to preserve it, but it was never found. The dolphin may have had religious importance to the island's monks. The remains of the dolphin have been removed from the area and will be examined by a marine expert. However, how and why the animal arrived on the island may remain a mystery for many years. Number 7. The mysterious rock sculptures of the App Store. At the age of 30, he suffered a serious stroke that left him deaf and dumb and paralyzed in half of his body. To recover from this severe blow, he retired to the cliffs of Rosenberg to lead a hermit's life. Ignoring the physical limitations caused by the stroke, he began carving hundreds of fascinating and grotesque faces and figures in the rock starting in 1870. To create them, approximately 300 rock sculptures, the artist was inspired by various legends and myths of local pirates and fishermen. The scenes mainly represent the life of the Ruthena family, a fishing family who lived between the 15th and 18th centuries. In particular, a high number of sculptures and their great attention to detail continue to occupy researchers to this day. The still unresolved question is how Epifano, with his physical limitations, was able to carry out such heavy work for decades. Number 8. The Ringed Rocks of Pennsylvania. At the top of a hill in Pennsylvania, there is a field full of strange rocks that no one knows how they appeared there. There is no higher cliff nearby, so they couldn't fall there after a landslide. Natives say these rocks have been there even before European settlers arrived. It is believed that it was a natural phenomenon with no known cause. While researchers continue to ponder this discovery, they are concerned with a bigger mystery. These rocks make a strange sound when you hit them. That is, they emit a tone that sounds like a drum cymbal. Some theories explain this, but why they make this strange noise is still being determined. If you hit a single rock, the sound is barely audible, as the pitch is lower than what the human ear can perceive. However, if you work them, the tones interact and produce a sound that you can hear. Number 9. Yenchan Mountain. A quarry full of secrets. When it comes to cultural and historical places, ancient China cannot be missing from this video. At the back of Yang Mountain, 20 kilometers east of Nanjing, lies the legendary Yang Quarry. Its origin dates back to the ruler Shun, who founded the Ming dynasty in 1368 and proclaimed Nanjing as the capital of his empire. In the decades that followed, the Yangchang quarry became the empire's main source of income and provided the material for gigantic construction projects that changed the face of Nanjing forever. In particular, the gigantic mausoleum commissioned in 1405 and never completed continues to fascinate Chinese researchers to this day. However, the quarry is also surrounded by dark legends. For example, locals say to this day that workers who did not produce the daily quota of gravel of at least 33 shin were executed on the spot, a myth that led to a nearby village being named too, which means tumulus. Number 10. The 250 rock-cut tombs of Al-Hamadiyya. In May 2021, an accidental discovery of 250 rock-cut tombs was made at the Al-Hamadiyya necropolis near the city of Sohar. These tombs span more than 2 millennia, from 2200 BC until the year 30 BC, during the Ptolemaic era. The tombs are small in size, and the objects found suggest that the deceased did not belong to a high social rank. Vases, ceramic fragments, human and animal bones, funerary plates, and small alabaster vessels were found. The most recent burials are believed to have occurred around 30 BC, coinciding with the end of the Ptolemaic period and the beginning of Roman control in Egypt. It is possible that those buried were officials and leaders of the city administration, playing a crucial role in administrative management. Number 11. A Vision of India. The statues and monuments of Warangal. For thousands of years, distant India has captivated people with its exciting history and varied culture, which has given rise to numerous impressive monuments. Among them is the mysterious Gopakal Hill, which is one of the largest and most important rock-cut Jain monuments in the country. Popularly known as X-Bazar Ki Babadi, the place is associated with several Hindu deities. According to legends, the gods would have intervened in the creation of the statues up to 18 meters high that surround Gopakal Hill, some of which date back to the 6th century, a time when people's technical possibilities were limited. So how could such impressive mounds and statues be carved into the rock? With divine help, so far, at least, there is no explanation. Number 12. The Underground Church of St. John. Our next exciting story takes us to France, more specifically to the idyllic town of Auden. Here is the monolithic underground stone-carved Church of St. John, which delights historians and tourists. According to what scholars have discovered, the church was originally designed to house valuable religious objects that were kept in a reliquary and protected from thieves. In the following centuries, the St. John Church was also used as a cemetery. Some historical sources suggest that the workers who carved the church directly into the limestone rock were inspired by the returning crusaders who brought back stories of underground temples and treasure chambers. Although the baptismal font in the center of the church was probably designed between the 4th and 9th centuries, it is possible that the church did not receive its final form until the 12th century. Number 13. The Devil's Tower. We will travel directly to the North American state of Wyoming to enjoy an authentic, peculiar, and enigmatic geological wonder, the Devil's Tower. This formidable rock formation has become the protagonist of the territory it occupies, classifying it as a national park. The Devil's Tower is located in the middle of large, completely flat plains, being a monolith of volcanic origin. Its perfect shape and size make this rock formation, which seems to have appeared out of nowhere, the main attraction of Wyoming. Despite its modest height of only 386 meters, mountaineers who can ascend to heights of up to 8,000 meters are not able to scale it due to its practically vertical walls. Climbing to the top and, even more difficult, descending, becomes an almost impossible challenge. Although its origins are not entirely clear, recent studies suggest a volcanic origin, explaining its shape as a result of the cooling of lava to a specific temperature. Be that as it may, this rocky skyscraper is an ideal place for fans of the mysterious. Number 14. Tiwanaku, the Gate of the Sun. Let's stay a while in Bolivia and travel near the famous Titicaca River. Here an ancient settlement of about 4 square kilometers was discovered that, according to historians, reached its maximum splendor around the year 800 AD. Between 10,000 and 20,000 inhabitants. Numerous objects of historical relevance were discovered, such as monumental structures, decorated ceramics, and megalithic blocks. While the objects were quickly assigned to a people who lived more than 1,200 years ago, the monolith called Puerta del Sol continues to cause speculation to this day. What it is in detail would probably remain unexplained forever, since historians, despite all the research, have not discovered any concrete clues about the meaning and purpose of the monolith. In Bolivian popular belief, the Puerta del Sol is considered a mystical place that connects the world of humans with that of the gods. Number 15. Eternal Flame Waterfall. This unique waterfall provokes great curiosity among tourists and locals. Behind this 9-meter-high waterfall, there is a small grotto where a living flame is housed that burns almost all year round. It is believed that the flame remains lit thanks to a natural phenomenon produced by the combustion of gases resulting from plant decomposition in the area. These gases filter through the cracks in the rock, maintaining the flame without the need for firewood. However, recent studies indicate that researchers are not sure of the exact origin of the gas that keeps the flame alive. Some claim it comes from a deposit 400 meters deep, while others speculate on possible supernatural explanations. This particular case adds an extra touch of mystery to this impressive waterfall. Number 16. The Golden Rock, Burma. 4 hours from Rango, in Burma, we find the picturesque town of Kyaiktiyo. This place, which seems lost in time, receives several tourists a year due to an immense golden rock 1,000 meters above sea level. The rock seems to defy all the laws of gravity. According to the ancient Buddhist tradition that they have honored for 2,500 years, powerful deities placed a huge stone on Mount Kyaiktiyo. Since then, the rock has been swinging in the air, and belief holds that it is maintained thanks to Buddha's magical hair, which prevents it from falling into the void. Although it seems ready to break at any moment, it has remained standing for 2,500 years. Even nature itself has not managed to knock it off the mountain. It is said that only a woman can achieve it, therefore women are prohibited from touching this sacred piece. Number 17. Cambayanoy town ahead of its time. Without a doubt, Chavin Deant is one of the most famous attractions in Peru. This ancient site, located 20 kilometers south of Cajamarca, was built between 1500 and 1000 BC, according to historians. The secret star of the site is an aqueduct that impressively illustrates that the site was built by a people far ahead of their time. In comparison, the first Roman aqueducts did not see the light of day until 312 BC. In Chavin, the path from the aqueduct was equipped with steps carved in stone. Also innovative is the ancient site, which includes extensive canals that were used to transport water from the plateaus to the valleys below, a vital technology for survival, especially in times of water scarcity. Number 18. Exploring Nanmatal, the mysterious archipelago. Nanmatal, have you ever heard of this place? Probably not, since it is an archipelago in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Although in such remote and paradisiacal corners you could expect only beaches and crystal clear waters, in Nanmatal you will find mysterious stone structures. Among the discoveries are palaces, temples, tombs, and homes built between the 7th and 16th centuries AD. The question that arises is, who would need to build something so grand in such a remote place? Scientists believe that the local elite and members of high society lived in Nanmatal, perhaps as a residence for the local government. However, there is something strange: there are practically no sources of fresh water on the archipelago. Is this location suitable for a capital or central government residence? In my opinion, it wouldn't make sense. There is another version that suggests that the Nanmatal complex had a cult and religious significance, which seems more plausible. However, it's still just one version. The complex is heavily damaged, making it difficult to understand its true purpose. Scientists have not yet solved this riddle. Number 19. The Maidens Tower in Azerbaijan. The people of the Middle Ages had built exciting structures in the capital Baku. The so-called Maidens Tower is located in the old town of the metropolis, dates back to the 12th century and, together with the 15th century palace. The Maidens Tower forms a complex of historical monuments that was included in the list of historical monuments of UNESCO World Heritage in 2001. Inside the tower, there is, among other things, a museum that tells the exciting history of the Azeri capital, Baku. The Maiden Tower is one of the most characteristic national buildings of Azerbaijan and is surrounded by a multitude of legends and myths deeply rooted in the country's history. Based on these legends, the Azeri artist created a Baku Maidens Tower ballet in 1940, which has remained popular in the modern era and is one of Azerbaijan's best-known cultural exports.